हेलो एंड वेलकम टू पैसा लाइव। मार्केट में बैक टू बैक आईपीओज आ रहे हैं विच क्लियरली इंडिकेट्स कि मार्केट में आईपीओ का ऑफिशियल सीजन चल रहा है। और अब जिस कंपनी का आईपीओ मार्केट में जल्द ओपन होने वाला है उस कंपनी का नाम है स्नेहा ऑर्गेनिक्स लिमिटेड और उसकी एमडी एंड वन ऑफ द प्रमोटर्स हमारे साथ मिस्टर किरण नंदीगाला हमारे साथ हैं। सो लेट्स जस्ट क्विकली फाइंड आउट कि अगर रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स इस आईपीओ को कंसिडर करते हैं, इसमें अपना पैसा लगाना चाहते हैं, तो सबसे पहला सवाल उनके माइंड में आता है कि कंपनी एग्जैक्टली करती क्या है।
Thank you so much. My name is Kiran, Managing Director of Sneha Organics, as she rightly said. And we operate one of the most essential and often overlooked areas of the pharmaceutical supply chain, which is the solvent recycling. You all know what is pharmaceutical industry, and it is responsible for developing some of the most important life-saving medicines, be it drugs, syrups, injections, and also cancer therapies. To manufacture these drugs, the pharmaceutical companies not only rely on the drug manufacturers but also on solvents. These are like liquids which help in chemical reactions, help in purification, help in extraction of the pharmaceutical ingredient, etc. So solvents are used in huge volumes. They are like the water in the chemical manufacturing, and each and every batch of medicine manufacturing uses huge amounts of solvents. After the pharma companies uses these solvents for manufacturing of medicines, they are called spent solvents. So this is where Sneha Organics comes in. We take these spent solvents which have residues, impurities, and other contaminants from pharmaceutical companies. We recover and purify these chemicals with our high-tech distillation equipment, and we give it back to the pharmaceutical companies. So we turn this waste into reusable products of virgin quality back to the customers. That is exactly what we do.
So, what is the agenda? What is the objective behind getting this IPO? Where would you utilize these funds that would come from the IPO?
So right now we are working in a job work model where we source the materials from the pharma customers for free, and we purify them and give it back to them. So basically there's a agreed percentage between us and the customer from the client and us, and depending on our technical know-how, we achieve maybe a little more percentage and give it back to the customer for a set job work charges, and the remaining surplus we sell it in the open market. Now as we move into a purchase sale model, we can get these materials at attractive prices from pharmaceutical companies, and we can purify that, and whatever the complete output percentage, we can sell it in the open market, whoever is using it. So now to buy these recovered solvents or spent solvents from these pharmaceutical clients, this happen in bulk auctions. That is the requirement where we are going for working capital, and that is the reason we are coming into IPO.
So, the company started way back in 2017. It's not even a decade that the company has been in operations or operational. So, do you think that this is the correct time for the company to get into an IPO? Like, as per the financial,
Yes.
as per your vision, as per growth, everything.
So with regards to Sneha Organics, it has actually been operational since more than 15 years. But we have taken over this company, and it was named in 2017, and we have taken over this company in 2019, the 100% stake. So because of the operations, we have grown exponentially since our takeover, and now we are looking for a rapid inorganic growth by doing in a large scale by further cutting down our cost of production. So we feel this is the best time for us to scale up inorganically.
Kiran, also, retail investors would like to understand where does the company stand in the market? Like when we talk about the entire industry, there would be other competitors as well. So where does Sneha Organics stand in terms of competitors in the market?
So this industry, what we are doing currently, the solvent recycling industry is a highly defragment industry with a lot of small players in and around Hyderabad, in the complete Telangana pharmaceutical hub also. But these are not, they don't do at a scale of us, as we have our installed capacity of 8,600 metric tons, and which we are utilizing with a 88% capital utilization compared to all other players. They are doing much smaller volumes. So because of the scale what we do at the complete cost of productions get diluted rapidly. So due to that, we have an added advantage of manufacturing something at a much lower cost. At the same time, because of our technical know-how to achieve much more higher purity and more output, we can get a much more higher output at a cheaper price compared to any other competitors. So we would say that because of the highly defragmented industry, we achieve an competitive advantage compared to any other players.
And how has been the financial health of the company so far?
Yes, as you can see, the financial wise, we have been growing rapidly since our takeover, and that has been attributed to the utilized
I have
capacity.
been looking at the numbers and I see that the revenue and also the PAT, profit after tax, has been constantly growing at a slighter pace, but again, it's in the green. It's constantly growing for the past 3 financial years. So, what is the target for the revenue and also for the PAT, if you have any, for the current financial year when it closes?
So the reason of us being growing over the last few years is because of rapidly installing multiple capacity expansion. At the same time, our utilization capacity also has been steadily growing year on year. And due to that concept of economies of scale, we have been growing. And what happens is the cost of production reduces as we increase the capacity. At the same time, due to our capacity expansion, we've also been able to achieve higher output percentages compared to any other competitors. That has been the steady growth prospect. And looking at the this year financials also, we are not, as per the SEBI guidelines, we are not supposed to give any forward stating numbers, but we are growing year on year, and we can deliver positive results.
And when we talk about the risk factors, like are there any risk factors or risk involved or the challenges that the company is facing currently? It could be maybe in the raw materials, or it could be something that is related to tariff. Do you think that the company or the work of the company or the financials of the company are any which way is going to be affected by the imposed tariff?
No, the import tariffs won't affect the company at all. If in fact it is a plus side for the company, because of the tariffs, there'll be a huge price in raw materials. So due to that, a lot of pharmaceutical manufacturers will rely on recycling industry instead of importing it from other countries. So this will in turn give us a lot more demand that we need to work on. That is a big plus side. And even going further, the main risk that will be involved is this recycling, what we are doing for pharmaceutical clients. The biggest risks that we see forthcoming is a big pharmaceutical giants setting up recycling units themselves, where they want to do it in-house instead of outsourcing. And that's the whole strategy. While what we want to do is shift from this job work or contract manufacturing job model into a completely different purchase sale. When we do in a purchase sale, we can strategically pick what kind of materials that we can strategically pick, and what kind of materials that we are experts in. That is the material that we can do. So basically, that is our agenda going forward.
So, what is the biggest market size? Is your market size bigger when it comes to the domestic market, or also are you supplying to the international players or exporting as well?
So our model is completely hyper local model, where we take the materials from the local pharmaceutical clients. At the same time, we sell it back also to the pharmaceutical clients in the local hub. So
Any which
our
way it is
model is
not impacted by any international or geopolitical crisis or
absolutely
basically
not.
anything. It's completely
Absolutely.
based on the domestic market. However, the domestic market moves, your business will move in the same direction. Also, how about the debt management? Like, do you think that is there any debt or is there any challenge that the company has been foreseeing or is going through, and retail investors would also be interested in that? Or is there any debt maybe in a smaller amount that you plan to repay or get done with from the IPO money?
There is no risks associated with the debt, but as a breakdown of our net proceeds from IPO, there is a small 3.5 crores of term loan that we want to repay as well. So that will make it completely debt free.
But I think that's not a very big amount to be.
So compared to our the raising money that we have, it's nothing. So there are no other risks involved with regards to debt.
In the end, I would really like to ask you. I know that you're not allowed to share the numbers, but just one expectation that, okay, fine, my company is going to be listed, and this is maybe the figure where I want to see at the opening, like maybe just a close figure.
So with regards to figures, we cannot give, as I mentioned earlier, but what we can say is
Maybe,
with
maybe
regards
if you can
to,
just talk about the premium, for example, I would like to
yeah, yeah.
see at least 15 to 20%, 30% premium, whatever premium you wish to. It's
So
just a
what we can say is how the company will grow over the years. So we can say that company is set to grow with a CAGR of 30% in the top line as well as bottom line in the next 3 to 4 years. So and there will be a lot, and the major, so shareholders value growth is something which is on our core, what we want to do for the company. So definitely we'll be looking at multiple other avenues going forward as well in the form of recycling. So recycling industry is an, a complete circular economy industry what we are targeting right now, where we take the waste and generate it into a purified solvent and give it back to the pharmaceutical industry. So that technology is something which is developing a lot, and a lot of demand is going for that. So this is going to be evergreen industry.
any size of the industry that you project, the current industry?
We've not done any secondary data, but there is a lot of primary data by a lot of published thing, because solvents are used in billions of dollars worth of materials come into the pharmaceutical sector every year.
And do you think government schemes or maybe PLI could also be beneficial for such industries' domestic growth or manufacturing sector?
Not really, but definitely government initiatives will be better when it comes down to EPR benefits, because when we are doing solvent purification, they'll going further, if government introduces solvent recycling also as a part of it, we'll be getting EPR credits, and this credits when we earn, because we are doing a large volume, this can be sold in public as well going further.
Well, thank you so much, Kiran. I think that's a lot of information for our retail investors to know and to plan whether to invest and how much to invest. And we wish you all the best and good luck for the upcoming IPO. And let's just see what miracles, what wonders it does on the listing day.
Absolutely. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much for being here.